Yo, we got some more Diddy news. This time it's Kid Cudi, and he's testifying in court about Diddy and Cassandra Fine. And what is he testifying about? Apparently his car got blown up. But when you see the pictures, you realize his car didn't blow up. I mean, if it blew up the way they said it did, then that would be news, right? It got slightly burnt. But still, that's still crazy. But here you go.
Day 9 of Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial saw bombshell testimony from rapper Kid Cudi, who alleged that Diddy retaliated against him after learning
Look at
that
some
Cudi
terrible
was
pictures.
dating Cassandra
I can draw better than that.
in a supposed
Look.
Molotov cocktail attack.
Does that look like the car being blown up? No. His car wasn't blown up, but it was severely damaged. Man, Diddy's gangster, man. I have to give Diddy that, man. He's like Omar, gay gangster. Remember Omar from The Wire? Everyone was scared of Omar. That reminded me of Diddy. Diddy do some gay stuff, man. He's into gay stuff like rubbing man juice onto his nipples, massaging it in. Yeah, that's what Diddy's into, man. That's some Omar type shit, man. But yeah, man, Diddy, he ain't one to mess around with, man. I wouldn't mess with Diddy. I mean, don't let the name P. Diddy fool you. He ain't Diddy Kong, he don't pee on people. But man, this guy, you don't want to mess with him. He'll wrestle with you. He'll wrestle with you over the frosty flakes. Flakes, you know. Just ask Usher, man. Usher had it, man. He had it. They were wrestling over the frosty flakes.
On Kid Cudi's car. The jury also heard disturbing accounts of abuse, secret aliases, and more details of an alleged pattern of intimidation. I'm going to be speaking with Law and Crimes reporter Elizabeth Milner.
Courtroom, with the exception of the defense table, the prosecutors, everyone just turned around in their seat to get a look of Kid Cudi walking inside that courtroom. I'm telling you, everybody's back was turned to see him go inside that courtroom, take the witness stand. So there was a lot of anticipation for his testimony today, especially from us in the media,
terrible picture.
as well as probably people who are just general fans of Kid Cudi. So yes, to your point, Jesse, he is very casual even while on the stand, and he appeared casual while testifying today. He did have that black motorcycle jacket. He had his earring in. He had a white t-shirt on. He had jeans on and just walked up to the witness stand as, you know, this was just any other day. But you could tell that this is something he doesn't do very often as far as, you know, testifying in a federal courtroom. And because he would say things like one-liners that were a little funny, and then he would say things like, "What you say now?" And it's just like, it was so casual while on the stand, and it was a little funny at times. But just as far as his involvement in the case, he's been a name that a lot of people have been hearing multiple times since testimony began, but they're not hearing Kid Cudi. What they're hearing is Scott Mescudi, his real name, his government name, I should say. But as far as his connection to the case, he and Cassie started off as friends together. Then they were going to start working together on this song. Diddy kind of try to set that up for them so that way Cassie could have a song with Kid Cudi. But the two became close, and the two I'm talking about, of course, being Kid Cudi and Cassie Ventura. They became close and romantically close as well, too. So as far as his involvement in the case, he said he dated Cassie back in 2011, something we knew from Cassie's testimony as well, too. And he said that he knew around that time that Cassie and Diddy had some problems, but he said that they weren't dating at that time. That's what his understanding was of their entire situation. So then as we're getting into the exhibits, they do show a photo of Capricorn Clark, and she kind of plays a role into it, and I'll get into that in just a second. But we see a photo exhibit of Capricorn Clark, a photo exhibit that we've seen a number of times. And Kid Cudi said that she was a friend of Cassie's. Didn't even necessarily mention that she also worked for Diddy. I think he kind of slipped that in at the end, but really the focus was that she was a friend of Cassie's. Now we get into December of 2011. This is around the time that Cassie and Kid Cudi are dating one another.
If you took out car finance anytime from 2007, there's a huge chance you were missold.
But police came to Kid Cudi's home because he had a break-in at his home, and it was really interesting, kind of how he was just explaining from his side of the story, just about all the events that occurred. So he said that day actually started with a call from Cassie around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and Diddy had found out that the two were dating one another. And Cassie sounded really stressed on this phone call. So what Kid Cudi did was he went and picked up Cassie. He took her to a hotel, the Sunset Marquis in California, to make sure that she was in a safe place and away from Diddy, essentially, because she just sounded so stressed and nervous during this phone call. Kid Cudi, again, at the time, didn't even realize that she was still kind of dealing with him, she being Cassie, still dealing with Diddy. And so Diddy had asked, I guess, for Kid Cudi's address, and I think this was a point that the defense later drove home, was that Cassie was the one who gave Diddy Kid Cudi's address. And so Kid Cudi said that he didn't know what Diddy was necessarily going to do. So when they were at the hotel, he actually spoke to Capricorn Clark on the phone. He said, as far as Capricorn Clark's connection to it, that Capricorn hung out with Kid Cudi and Cassie a lot of times. That's what Kid Cudi had said on the stand. But during this particular phone call, Capricorn sounded scared and kind of on the verge of fear because Sean Combs, aka Diddy, one of his affiliates, who we don't know the name of this other person, and Capricorn Clark were actually at Kid Cudi's house while Kid Cudi wasn't even there. So that means that Diddy was inside Kid Cudi's home, according to Kid Cudi, during this incident. So Kid Cudi actually went home after he got this call from Capricorn Clark, and then we see an exhibit photo of Kid Cudi's old home, the home where the break-in had occurred, and we see the front door gate, and he describes this neighborhood as like quiet and family oriented, not thinking that break-ins really happen in this particular neighborhood. And so he actually ends up getting on the phone with Diddy while he's driving back and rushing back to his home, and Kid Cudi, he was very casual on the stand, and by casual, he also used a lot of profanity on the stand as well, too. So he said, "Mother effer," you know what I mean? "Are you in my house?" Diddy responded, "I just want to talk to you." And these are Kid Cudi's words. It's not like we heard a voice note or anything like that. This is what Kid Cudi had recalled about this entire situation. But Diddy had responded, "I'm here waiting for you," here being at Kid Cudi's home. And surprisingly, and this is something Kid Cudi had said, that Diddy sounded pretty calm on the phone while this was happening. So he gets home, he sees the security cameras aren't adjusted the way that they normally are. They're turned down as if somebody had moved them. They're turned in the opposite angle. And Kid Cudi said he wasn't the one that moved those security cameras. So when he got home, his suspicion alarms just ran and ran and ran, because he said that gifts were open on his kitchen counter. It was stuff from Chanel. He said his dog was in the bathroom at this time, and his dog normally, just like a lot of our pets, just runs free around the home whenever the pet parent isn't at home or isn't present. But his dog in this particular incident was shut behind a bathroom door, and he had this dog for a 2-year time period even prior to this incident, and he noticed that his dog's behavior started to change after this break-in caught fire. And so Kid Cudi on the stand said, "She told me my car was on fire. I immediately went to my house." So he gets to his house, he sees his car in the driveway, and then that's when we see a bunch of exhibit photos. And this was kind of the first time, I think, that we've really seen just the damage of the car and what it really entailed in the aftermath of this Molotov cocktail being lodged into Kid Cudi's car. So we saw photos of the damaged car. We saw kind of a cut open roof from the Molotov cocktail. The roof was blown out. And according to Kid Cudi, the person who took those photos wasn't Kid Cudi himself. It was actually Kid Cudi's best friend, Chip, who had taken these photos. And so we see more exhibit photos of the burnt driver's side door with all the smoke damage. We see a hole in the roof again. We see the damage to the pretty true. Then they started kind of talking about the burner phones and whether or not Cassie had told Kid Cudi that she had multiple phones, because while Cassie was on the stand, she did own up to the fact that she did have a burner phone, so that way Diddy wouldn't get mad or angry at her. And so when asked, "Did you tell the..."
Okay, from what I can see, Cassie is very snaky, but I feel like she was trying to prove herself, or trying to get Diddy jealous. That's what I feel. I think both of these people were seeing other people. I mean, come on now, he was doing free cuffs with her. That was her sleeping with other guys. So yeah, obviously that they were seeing other people. He was getting other women. She was getting other men. And I think what happens is when it's very odd, where you are paying guys, strippers, for relationships or encounters with the Cassie, but then when it's Kid Cudi, he becomes enraged to a point where He's like, nah, it can't be him. No, not him. Random strippers, yes. But Kid Cudi, no. That's odd. And luckily, Diddy isn't that too crazy, but man, you owe him. He could have blown up the guy's car if he wanted to, but it seemed like he has got some seat damage and roof damage. But man, Cassie seemed like she'd been playing them both off of each other to try and get her own way, and I feel like she really must have at the time liked Diddy. It's weird. If you get a girl that's too crazy, that's it. That could be a problem for you, especially when she don't get what she wants. But yeah, man, that's my evaluation of it. My evaluation that she was playing both of these dudes, and luckily nobody died. I like the description that said that he was standing at the door, at a window, like a Marvel villain. That is hilarious. And Diddy's like, oh, what car? Yeah. I don't know any car. What car? Standing up there like Thanos or something with his hand behind his back. Man, I would have been... I would have laughed my head off seeing that. Look out the window like that. Car? What car? I never didn't see no car. He's like, I forget it. Like we cool playboy. But yeah, alright, daddy, we cool. Anyway, I'm out, man. That made me laugh.